when they idolize you, when they love bomb you at the beginning, the reason why it's so you think these people are your soulmate is because they mirror you so well. You know what I'm saying? Like they future fake, for the term, if you rather, like it's to get you caught up in the mindset of this is going to be forever. The moments, you know what I'm saying? All the spontaneous things and the random things that you be like you've never done with somebody else. Like I I wasn't about to. Okay, all right. Look, so check me out. Narcissists use use your dreams against you. Like they ever ask you your dream person or whatever the case may have. What have you not done with somebody? And typically you tend to do those things that you said you haven't done. Like I'm not saying like all the time, but like it's hard to even understand if that's real or fake because at the beginning everybody goes through the relationship where you just get to know the person of whatever the person that they're showing at the time. You know what I'm saying? The perception of if you have you. And it's like when they feed you you start to ask yourself, dang, this is the person. It's the same person. It's the same person. You know what I'm saying? You start to go off in your mind further in events of marriage and family with these individuals, and it's like the wildest thing about it is that it's built on a version of them that's not going to be sustainable in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Over time, none of that. Like it's not going to be. It's not realistic for someone to have a genuine output who acts like this. And I'm only saying this because a lot of times most people don't want to hear that who are still dealing with them, and it sucks because I hate when I read stories or some comments or whatever the case may have that I'll get about what they're still dealing with. And it's like, I just want you to understand whatever version that you thought they were when they showed you at the beginning is not the real version right now. If you're going through this, if it's a night and day flip, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, you know what I'm talking about? If it's a night and day flip, like it's not, it was never them. That was never the version. That was never whatever you was trying to build upon. You know what I'm saying? It's not to be mean or whatever the case may have you, bro. It's just the reality. Most people don't want to hear that when it comes to that, and it becomes so toxic that you think this person's the one anyway because of what you've dealt with, all the bonding, traumatically, the trauma bonds. Like they bond you with all that trauma, and you just start to just envision your life as if this is what it's gonna be. I mean, I'm not trying to be like that, man, but that's just like, it's just real because you sit in it and you accept it. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I got it. I got it. You'll sit and accept it, and you'll just say that this is what it's gonna be. So you start to adapt yourself. You start to be the coat on the water. You know what I'm saying? You put the coat down over the water so they can step on you. I know, I got it. I'm just saying that's what you do. You adapt to this. I'm sorry, but it is funny. But you start to adapt to that because that's what it is, though. You adapt to being the coat on the water, and for real, because no one can really understand. Like, not really. No, I'm sorry. I'm not saying everybody. Whenever you express these kind of these thoughts or these situations that you've got to these people, and people be like, that's so extreme for you to think. Nobody's that evil. Most people aren't aware of it, and or haven't been through it, and or is going through it and don't know how to identify it. So it makes it worse to bond with the person that you're getting the negativity from, because nobody else gets it. You see what I'm saying? Because you've talked about something so much, they get so annoyed at you talking about it because you're trying to figure out what it is, but you start to get alienated and it makes the bond worse because the only person you have to lean on is the person giving you the pain. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it be. And I know it can be extreme what I just said, but at the same time, a lot of people get into this mindset. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Because you get so confused. It's the mental fog. That mental fog they put you through of all that confusion of just why is it like this, and is a relationship like this supposed to be for real, for real? Those are the questions you start to ask yourself, because they'll make you conform to the relationship that they see for themselves, and it be 100% on their side. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they'll start to say this is their dream person, this is their idealistic individual they want to be, and you start to, again, the coat on the water, trying to get up to those levels, trying to get to these standards that are unrealistic, because they'll continue to move the goalposts, no matter what you do, however you do it, and idolize somebody else that's going to make you feel some kind of way and make you feel less than. You see what I'm saying? And you bond with that. You bond with that cycle. And it's a never-ending cycle, because you'll never reach the goalpost. The goalposts don't exist to where you, because again, and I've said this before in one of my videos, like, you start to gaslight yourself. You start to make goalposts for no reason that they didn't even ask for. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm saying it like that, but I just really want you to catch the idea of what it is when you're dealing with these people, and why you get so bonded, so tough and so hard, and it becomes so toxic, and why it's so hard to pull from it. That's what I'm trying to emphasize to you, man. I'm trying to emphasize, bro, sis, that this is why it's so hard, because it's the only thing you can bond with. It's the only thing you have connection with at the moment, you know. And that's why it feels so isolated, because you'll isolate yourself because you can't express this to people, because they've already shown you the distaste for it. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but when you find communities like my channel and stuff like that, like, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but like, for the most part, like, when you do express this, people don't, the wrong advice, they'll tell you to feed into the narcissist. Like typical regular relationship advice does not work. Like, just be patient, and they'll change, and just do all the things and all the sorts. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk about the robot. You know what I'm saying? And you do all that, and again, the goalposts continues to get moved, and then people keep telling you to stay with it. They'll change. Just show them you want to be there. I know I'm messing, but I just want you to understand the reality of the typical relationship advice doesn't work with a narcissistic relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because the people dealing with the mental abuse from a narcissist can't quite cope with what's happening. You got to understand the confusion of why, and that's why it's so hard for some people to even speak up about this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Survivors or people still going through with it, dealing with Stockholm syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, like, because you feel embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to really express it for real like that, because you don't know if somebody else can even give you the answer of why somebody would act like this. And this is that reason why you'll tend to say and feel like that this individual is your soulmate, because this has got to be a relationship for some reason. Building yourself to always please somebody that can never be pleased, that's going to always need people anyway. And that's what you tend to build yourself for. We was building ourselves for, but the reality is like, you gotta really ask yourself why. And if the why doesn't align with a positive viewpoint of where it needs to go, like the relationship, whatever the case may have, you gotta no contact, man. You gotta remove yourself and just respectfully go away, bro, sis. I mean that. Like, you gotta go away, man. You gotta be able to say, no, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Because it's for the sake of your mind. It's for the sake of your mental state of reality. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to continue to still be going through something that is by choice, for real? You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say in my videos too, like, at some point it becomes self-inflicted to us because you can leave. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody be like, it's easier said than done. No, it's easier said and easier done. You can leave. Just make the choice. I know it's hard. I know it's gonna be rough. I know the withdrawal from the pain, because you'll have withdrawal from the pain. You've gotten so addicted to how it is, you'll have withdrawal from the pain. It's real, man. Like this stuff is tough. Like, I really want you to understand, and if you're new to this concept of all this narcissistic abuse, like, it's tough because it's hard on people's mental state of reality and how they perceive relationships with other people. You know what I'm saying? You affect other people when you treat people like that. That's why it's so wild to me when even going through it with a narcissist, and why a narcissist cannot comprehend how they are to people. It's wild to me that they can't even comprehend that. And this is how they damage the people walk around as damaged people, broken in the mind. Not to be mean and saying and stuff like that, but like, it takes a lot to recover from this stuff mentally. You know what I'm saying? When you go through this kind of intense mental battle of what is happening. That's why the bond is so rough. That's why it's so toxic. That's why it's so hard. And the narcissist will like beat and rub you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like a cat, like they rub the cat to beat the cat. And I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, that's why it's like that. You know what I'm saying? And they'll love when you try to love away the situation, love away the event where it got crazy or whatever the case may have you. Like, trust me, I got it. And those events be so intense and so off the chain. And it's so much on your mind because you can't comprehend why this has got to be normal. But at the same time, they love you. That's what they'll say. That's how they'll act. That's what they'll do. You know what I'm saying? And again, that cycle of your that trauma is so toxic, and you think that you can't live without them either. So you tend to just deal with the pain. It's wild. I know it's wild. I know I'm saying it like I'm saying it. I got it. But I just want to give the reality of sorry, why it's so rough, why it's so toxic. Because you cope with it. You know what I'm saying? You tend to feel as if how they speak for you because they told you can't speak. Like, look, listen to me. Some narcissistic people will make you feel as such and make you think as if without them, you can't even operate. You don't have the ability to exist and do anything without them because they know how to think for you. That's what I'm saying. I know that's probably like off the chain too. I keep saying that, but I just want to give people the reality of the manipulation. The manipulation tactics they use. They will conform you to the ideal of what they think is superior to what you think. That's just what it is. Like they'll conform you to that idea. It's crazy. I know, man. And they good at the manipulation. They good at it. They're good at making it so toxic. They're good at making it so. They're good at making the pain feel good. For lack of a better terms, for real, that's what it is. They're good at making the pain feel good. And it sucks because it's almost like it's a dopamine hit. So when you are dealing with it, you can't help but deal with it because that's the attention that you're getting from them until they want to love you again, until it becomes too much. And they see that it's becoming too much if they decide to, whatever the case may have you. You know what I'm saying? That's why they play with you with the whole devaluation. That's why they always say it's somebody else and make it seem like that person is grandiose and all these things. Why you have to deal with that mentally and sit to yourself and formulate that on your own as to why somebody will put you through these mental games to destroy you and break you down and make you and mold you back up to who they see fit. It's wild because they really go through the effort of conforming you on how they need you to be in their world on some video game type stuff. Like you're the NPC in their world. You know what I'm saying? Like that's for real. Like if for real, you catch that. So when they do that and you start to walk and be programmed how they made you, now you compute well. But they've already done that with somebody else and somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. And you don't know these other NPCs. Y'all don't know each other. Y'all wasn't programmed at the same time. You hear me, bro, sis? Y'all wasn't programmed at the same time. That's why the new supply is never new. Don't ever. I'm sorry. Let me not say never new, because if you don't know when you get into a narcissist, then okay, they didn't know. I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. No, but most of the time, the new supply is not new. Sorry, let me correct myself to say that. But yeah, most of the time, the new supply is never new. Especially if they come from a period of time in their life before you. They always say that that's the friend, the one you don't need to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's been the work husband. That's been the work husband. You gotta listen to these words, how they say too. When you start to find out how they are, that's when you gotta start paying attention to the vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Because they say these things and they're telling themselves. The narcissists will tell themselves because they like to gloat the buffoonery. They like to gloat the goofiness. You know what I'm saying, in your face, because you don't know what they're doing. They're like, oh, let me do these things and get hype. You know what I'm saying? I'm being for real. I know I'm being off the chain, but I just want to also give you that too, because this is always forms and ways to manipulate you and get you bonded in a toxic way. Because you'll always think you got to prove yourself. You'll always think there's got to be a goalpost somewhere. It's going to be a challenge every single day. Every day is going to be something to deal with them if it got something to do with them. Period, point blank. Because the more and more you stay with them, the more and more the days get crazier and consistent. You might have one day out the month that's golden, but most of the days is going to be the chaos, and that's the bond. They bond you with that, man. They keep you caught up with that nonsense. And at that point you have to ask yourself, is this necessary for me to be here? You have to analyze yourself. Is it necessary? Because if it's not necessary, you need to leave. And when I say necessary, for your mental health sake, for your own life, your well-being, your lifestyle, your quality of life, who you choose to be with, that's quality as well. That's what I mean by necessary. Analyze these people around you that's draining you and sucking you when it comes to these narcissistic relationships and these narcissistic manipulation things you've been through, not knowing that you've been through it. You know what I'm saying? Messing with your head, confusing you, making you downplay yourself, making you question yourself and not have confidence in yourself because you've allowed somebody else who know better themselves, who just want you to think the way they want you to think in their world and be the NPC. That's what I'm saying. Break that bond, break that trauma, get away, separate, quit talking, quit listening to these people. These people don't have no best interest for you. You know what I'm saying? The only interest they have is seeing you be negatively impacted by them in some shape, form, or fashion. Because this is who they are. This is how they thrive. They need that kind of attention. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to get negative attention than positive attention. So why not do negative stuff? That's them. Straight up. I'm just saying, your quality of life is so much more valuable, bro, sis, than dealing with the nonsense. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, your quality of life is so much more valuable than dealing with nonsense. I don't care what y'all been through, what time and how much you spent, A lot of this stuff, straight up, and I mean this, it's by choice. Don't hurt yourself any longer, because the longer you stay, the harder it is going to repair this. You know what I'm saying? For the next person. Don't carry this baggage any longer than what you need to, dealing with the nonsense, the circus, being in their circus. Like, quit jumping through the fire rings. Let it go. You don't need to prove nothing to them. They don't know nothing better than themselves. I mean that. Quit jumping through the fire rings. It's over with. Let somebody else do it. Let the new supply do that. That's what they were there for to do. That's why they do goofy stuff too. That's why you seen the goofy stuff they were doing. Let them have the circus. Let that go over there. You get your peace. Period. There's nothing else you need to prove. Like, I promise you, there is nothing else you need to prove. You don't need to prove you're better than the new supply. You don't need to prove to the narcissist that you're this the flying monkeys, the contributors to the nonsense too, the goofiness. There is nothing else that you need to prove to anybody. The only thing you need to prove is anything you were trying to be for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because now you don't have anything holding your mind back from becoming and being whatever the case is may have you better for yourself, because you was too distracted, because you was in this toxic love cycle dealing with the narcissist. You feel what I'm saying? So I hope this message finds you well. I'm Fonzie Murph, and I'm out. Peace.